Alright, Derek Kimball with the Ham Good Barbecue. This is going to be our rib cook for practicing for competition. So we're going to, we did the trimming process where we trimmed the rib tips off. We saved those. We're going to smoke those later. And I'm going to use our hickory rub and sweet heat mesquite. First, I'm going to go ahead and put a binder on the back of these. We're going to cook these on our pit barrel. And just a quick note on the pit barrel. I know a lot of people out there use barrels. They have look like a temperature gauge. Some people with the pit barrels, like the one I'm using behind me, they tend to drill a hole in them and add their own temperature gauge. I don't use a temperature gauge on those. I usually cook by collar when the rub is set. And then I'll go to a wrapping process. With these, I'm actually going to put them in a pan and finish them in a pan and have a probe in there. But so we got our binder on here, and so starting off, I'm going to use our mesquite rub. It's pretty windy out here, but we're going to have to get used to the elements. This is a mild heat. It's not real hot. I'm not going to put a lot on there. I usually use 1 to 2 rubs. So in the pit barrel we have, I'm using B&B charcoal. I actually like to use B&B charcoal. And I've got 1 chunk of apple wood. I'm going to start off cooking both slabs. On 1 pit barrel, and then I'm going to slowly get the other one up to temp. And that way when I get the rub set on these, I'll go to the next phase, which I'll pan them. I'll have butter, brown sugar, a little apple juice, and then I'll put foil over it. Have our probe in there, and I'll probably vent just one side of the foil. So if anybody's wondering how, the temperature of that, you could put an oven thermometer on there and watch the temp, but I just like the way those cook. I tend to, just kind of go, till the rub is set, and the collar I like. And those pit barrels, cooking on them, they're a lot of fun. I'm still pretty new to the hot and fast technique, but on those pit barrels, they tend to cook a little bit hotter and a little bit faster than like, Weber, which I can kind of dial it in as far as the temperature I want. If I need to spritz this, it'll be either with distilled water or a little bit of apple juice. I'm sort of getting away from spritzing just because I feel like it prolongs my bark setting. Alright, I might just give that just a few minutes just to set there. You can let these set 45 minutes, an hour. We've already taken the bone side right in here, and we push the meat up. Because we want that meat to pull back, we want those bones to be exposed. We want them looking pretty for the judges. We want a nice collar on them. So we got applewood, we got B&B charcoal. It's briquettes, the oak briquettes. So when I put these on, probably the next phase, I'll record when we're putting them in a pan. And when I've got in there, I might take a few photos of the collar and show you what they look like, but I'll definitely record before I put them in a pan. I'll have to wash my pans up. Ironically, normally I would just foil these, but you know, if you've ever cooked with foil, you put a probe in them, or you got to be real careful, make sure these don't slide on the grates and don't tear your foil, you know, all the juice leaks. So I've never actually cooked these in a pan. I usually foil these, but I'm actually going to try cooking them in the pan just to see how they come out. So hopefully they come out to the tenderness that I hopefully desire. So I'm going to check this pit barrel. It's still smoking a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and actually get these on. That's just the applewood smoking, so we'll get a little smoke on those. And then that will actually start to go away. I usually don't throw them on this early, but I'm not too worried about that. You just got to be careful with those pit barrels when you open them like that. It really can send the air through there and get a good fire going. So I want these to be pressed, and I want them to cook like that. So I'll probably press them again when I get them on there. Okay, so we'll let that go. I'll check them in about 30 minutes, and we'll see how they look. I don't think the rib will obviously be set. It'll probably have to go for like an hour, maybe a little bit longer, but I'll make sure I get some photos of those. I might do a quick little video and see how they look here in about 30 minutes. Alright, so I'm back. We're going to do a quick little peek. This is what they look like after about 30 minutes. So we're getting a little bit of pooling on there. I don't think it'll the rub. I really like the collar. Coming along real nice. So I'll let it play out another 30 minutes. And yeah, we'll check on them then, see how they look. Alright, so we're 1 hour into the cooking process. And that's what they're looking like so far. So the collar, I still like the collar. Everything's coming real good. You can kind of see the pullback on those bones there. A little bit there. I'm going to have to close this because the heat sure does take off on these. But we'll check them in 30-minute increments. So 30 minutes more, it'll be an hour and a half into it. And might be real close to actually panning them. So we'll be back. Alright, so we're just about an hour and a half into it. I did pull the lid off and check the rub. I just ran my finger across it and the rub is set. So I've got apple juice, some brown sugar, and some butter in these pans. So I'm going to drop the ribs in. And we're going to foil them. And then I will get these probes inserted into the ribs, and we'll monitor the temp. I'll probably set it for 200, and then I will. Let's see. So I'll set it at 200. That'll be my guide. That'll be my gauge. But what I'm going to look for is I will use this to check for the tenderness. I'm looking for probe tender. I want to feel No resistance. It should feel like a kind of like a hot knife through butter, so to speak. So it should have very little resistance. That's what we mean by probe tender in the competition world. So I'm going to grab these. You can see that's how they look. So nice collar. The rub is set. Not bad. And we're not getting as much pullback as I was hoping for on those bones, but hopefully they will when I pull those. And that's what these look like. And I like how the pullback is looking on these bones right here. So, all right, let me close my lid. And let's get these folded here. I'm going to leave one end. Actually, what I might do, pull this back a little bit. All I'm doing is trying to go right in to the middle of those ribs. Close it up, but I'll leave that part just kind of vented up a little bit. Okay, I'll get these back on the smoker and I'll set it for 200, and then we'll be back when they hit about 200. I might check them at 195 for probe tenderness, but you'll definitely see them when they come off, and as we sauce them and rest them, and we'll end up building the box. So hang tight. It took about 30 minutes to actually come up to 200 degrees. Well, these have been resting for about 10 minutes. So I think total cook time was around 2 hours. One rack hit about 205, the other one hit 200. They felt probe tender. So let's pull a rack out. I wish I had a little bit more pullback on the bones there. Yeah, they've cooled down, but I like the way they feel. So, in a competition, you're going to have them get done. Nobody does 3, 2, 1 in a competition, so. see. We want to cut these bone side up, and the only trick here is, you know, your bones are never going to be perfectly straight. I'm not worried about this end bone. We'll set that right there. This little bone can come off, that's nothing. And this one we want to at least be able to test. So we got a good test bone. I like the flavor of that. And we got good bite through there. So this one's a little crooked here. Okay. Okay, perfect. So we got 4. Pretty good size there, so I like those. Ironically, I like the way these came out a little bit better. So, you know, we don't need that bone. I might actually... No, that one wouldn't make the box, but let's test it. Now this one's more tender, so that's good. So we got good bite through there. Alright. I may have cut it just a little too close on that one. Those, ironically, are just a little bit shorter. That's okay. And there's our 4 there. That one's pretty thin. All we need is 6. If we can put 8 in there, that'd be good. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8. So obviously that one's way too thin. So this wasn't 3, 2, 1. This got done in like 2 hours, maybe a little bit more. Bite through. And now I've got it setting in this au jus here. You know, I think what we'll do is, let's move that. Nobody said barbecue was supposed to be neat and tidy. Okay, I thought I had a brush there. Alright, let's pull these out. See, the only thing I don't like is how there's a little bit of a difference there, but it's okay. Let's see what it looks like when we get them in a box. Always talk about symmetry. We don't want them being too one rack, real thick bone. I just wish the other one had a little bit better pullback on the bones. See, there's the bone there, but I should have double checked that. So there's the bone. But when we build the box, we can even, maybe hide that. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to let that set there just for a couple of minutes. I'm going to let that sauce tack on. I need to get my little sifter that has my dust in there. So I will be right back. Okay, got my brush, got my sifter. It's a little windy here, so we're going to try to do this. Hopefully my box does not blow away. Alright, let's... Now you could choose to set these back in and let that sauce tack on. We definitely want to focus on where they're going to bite, which is on the inside of these ribs. I can't believe how fast these got done. But I didn't really go by temperature. I just let the temperature be my guide. I set it at 195, checked it. It wasn't quite there. Then I sat it back in 200. I just kept checking it. I should have filmed that, but again, all you're looking for is that probe to go in when it is like going through warm butter. I don't have kale in this box. I did kale on my chicken box. So if you wonder how to build a kale box, check out my chicken video. Had a little char right there. It had to take off. So what do we got? We got 4. You can go 6 across, or 5 and do 6. I'll clean up a little bit of that. And so what a lot of people have been doing is, got a little char there. It's 4 up and 4 down. But there are no KCBS rules that says you don't have to have anything in there. Now this end rib is a little thick. I could have put it on the bottom. I mean, you can kind of hide a few blemishes there if you have to. You know, if your ribs are crooked or you don't like the way one turned out. Because all they're going to do is just, you know, judge on the legality of the garnishment. I'm not going to worry too much about any of the sauce on the side. I'll be honest, I just didn't want to eat a bunch of kale salad like I did last time after my chicken video. But when I do a pork box, I'll probably do you know, the kale again. You could still come in and just dust the tops there, but I might come in and just thin that out just a little bit. Again, you could put that back on the smoker, let it tack up 4 to 8 minutes, pull it back out, dust it, put it back in. And I tell you, this is something I didn't practice my first couple competitions, was building the box. So it's not my prettiest rib box, but you know, practice makes perfect. So a lot of teams have been doing 5 and 5. So, but I nailed the tenderness. So that's what I was going for. Flavor will be good. It's not going to be too spicy. It's not going to be bland. It's not going to taste too candy-like. So I really like how those are turned out. Again, I always talk about journaling. I mean, I got a notebook. I take notes. I wrote what the temp was, the timeline, everything. So, you know, when I go back to practicing, I will try to reproduce this again. I really like how the rubs turned out. I've been trying to play around with how the mesquite and the hickory play with each other. So, you know, well balanced. It didn't mask anything. So I think I'm going to keep that recipe and keep building on that. So hope this helps with your rib techniques, building a box, getting ready for a competition. Next step will be pork. If you have any comments, please leave them. If you'd like to see something, let me know. Follow us at the Ham Good Barbecue. Sign up for our newsletters. Those are going to be a little bit more competition based as we, you know, document and you know, share our journey into the competition world. Thanks for watching.